I'm not gonna watch the new Jurassic Park movie. Ain't happening. I don't watch very many movies. Definitely not watching this one. But I want to see how it is, though. Because I might. Amala Ekpunobi watched Jurassic World Rebirth. So we don't have to. Alright, tell us about it.
I watched Jurassic World Rebirth, so you don't have to, and I got some thoughts. It was okay. Let's talk about it. Guys, before we get into today's video, please
She said it was okay. And, you know, okay is just not good enough.
like and subscribe. Yes, I went and watched.
Dude, there's so many bangers out all the time that we miss that I just don't care. I just wait a few years. I'm watching stuff that came out around COVID now still, and I barely do that.
Jurassic World Rebirth with my sister. We sat down in the theater. I was ready for an experience, and an experience I had. It was okay. You know, I've seen a lot of things leading up to this film with Scarlett Johansson and Jonathan Bailey, Mahershala Ali. So I guess
I'm tired of seeing the same people over and over again in all of these movies, all these big time AAA movies that cost hundreds of $millions to make, and then they always get the same actors, all these Marvel people. No thanks. I want to see new people. Get out of here with that shit. And I don't want to see new people like Bella Ramsey.
spoiler alert, I'm going to get into a plot summary here for those of you who have not seen the film yet and you intend to go ahead and click away now and come back to me later. So the movie begins with Scarlett Johansson, who is a mercenary slash hired soldier, and she's approached by a big pharma executive slash representative of sorts who tells her that he needs her to go out to this island along the equator where I guess dinosaurs are living these days and get the DNA of 3 different dinosaurs. Why? Because this big pharma company wants to make a cardiac medication. Now, why do I care at all that she goes on this adventure? I don't know, but hopefully you guys
Yeah, there's red flag number 1, a whole storyline that sets up the entire movie, and it's just boring and nobody cares.
Figure that out along the way. At first, Scarlett Johansson is like, hell no, I'm not gonna go to this remote island and do this thing. And of course, the big pharma executive offers her $10 million, 10 millis. And she's like, you know what? On second thought,
Oh, man. Bad.
will go. They then go to approach Jonathan Bailey, who plays your archetypal dinosaur scientist who is yet to see a dinosaur in the real world.
Can we get some new characters, please? This just seems like a very tropey character that we've already had multiple times in the Jurassic Park world. By the way, I will end up watching this. I'm just not going to watch it right now. I'll probably end up watching it when I do a binge of every Jurassic movie so I can make a video on it. I'm going to do it for content.
And that's the drive that gets him attached to this project, and he's now going to adventure to this island as well. Now, I say archetypal for Jonathan Bailey's character, and honestly Scarlett Johansson's too, because they play the most pre-packaged typecast versions of female soldier and dinosaur scientist you've ever seen in your life.
And I don't understand why they couldn't reverse the roles. They always got to make the woman the badass. They've always got to make the man the puny, like, scientist, smart guy type. He's like kind of a liberal guy. You know, it's like, I don't get it. Why do we got to do that? Why do we have to do this? The original way was the best way. But also, I just don't want characters like that. Give me a flawed main character that's not like just going through it, you know?
There's no hate to either of those actors because I love Scarlett and I love Jonathan Bailey. It just didn't hit for me, especially at the beginning of.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Scarlett Johansson. I think the best movie that she was in was Lucy.
This film. Now, I, like probably many of you, saw a lot of PR leading up to this film, and a lot of it was very charming. Scarlett Johansson and Jonathan Bailey have a great chemistry together, at least when they're being themselves, and I thought for sure that was going to translate onto the screen. And then I got there, and it didn't. And this is very similar to the experience that I had with The Materialist recently. Dakota Johnson, Pedro Pascal, and Chris Evans were magic when they were doing
Bro, it's the same people and everything. I'm so sick of it. Just get new people. That's always the same. Chris Evans, Pedro Pascal, Scarlett Johansson. Enough with it. Enough of it.
PR interviews together, and then you watch the movie and the characters are flat. And I don't feel as though that's the actor's fault. It's probably the writers. And of course, I also saw some woke posturing leading up to this film. Many were remarking on the fact that Scarlett Johansson, who's a woman, Mahershala Ali, who's black, and Jonathan Bailey, who's gay, were going to be the lead characters on this film. And that was not translated into the film, which I could appreciate. But now...
Yeah, okay. I'll get on board with that. But once again, man, I just don't like any of those actors.
Now we venture on to get the rest of our cast for this great dinosaur adventure that means nothing because we don't want Big Pharma to win. And introduced is Mahershala Ali, who is yet another mercenary slash hired soldier, and he brings in his little crew to help on this expedition. But now we have to find a way to care about Scarlett and Mahershala. And at this point, Scarlett is somebody who's willing to sell her soul and a bunch of dinosaur DNA for $10 million. Mahershala is apparently a friend she's worked with in the past. Now, when we meet Mahershala, he and Scarlett have a heartwarming dialogue with sad music playing over it, where we learn that Mahershala had a son somewhere in the past who died, and that broke up his marriage. And Scarlett had some guy that she worked with in the past on a previous mission die as well. Do we know this son or this previous coworker? Absolutely not. But
feel for them. You have to have feelings for these characters, because we're gonna do things very bad to them later.
Mahershala and Scarlett have tears in their eyes, so now we care about them. I obviously...
Dude, they have no idea how to get to people. They have no idea.
I cannot show you this scene for copyright reasons, but I will reenact it just for you. And mind you, you are just meeting these characters. And this scarf also going to matter later. I heard about Dougal. Yeah, it was an easy mission. We didn't expect to lose him. Car bomb. At least you went quick. Wasn't that quick? What about you and Jessica? How are you two doing? We just couldn't find a way to make it work. Every time we looked at each other, we saw our son. It must make you really care about protecting kids, huh?
Yeah, I don't like when people talk about how sad they are in a movie. So, show me the thing that made them sad. And let's not talk about it. How about that?
Okay. So now we have...
They probably wouldn't even be able to do that right.
Scarlett, Big Pharma, the scientist, Mahershala, and his crew, and we're all coming together to track down the DNA of 3 dinosaurs.
It sounds like the perfect Kong movie.
One by sea, one by land, and one by air. And all we're missing is fire, because apparently this script was written by ChatGPT. Now our crew is together, we are headed towards the island, and we are almost there when mayday, 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 a family on a boat that is capsized calls in and is in need of rescue, and we turn around and go towards that family. An ethnically ambiguous family consisting of father, 2 daughters, and a daughter's boyfriend is now, just there at sea in need of rescue, even though this island is not only remote, but highly secure, as nobody is supposed to be here. No human is supposed to be around these dinosaurs for any reason whatsoever. So how did this family get here? Irresponsible father, I guess. And
Bro, like there's absolutely no reason. They're just there, just to have them there. Man, I don't know. This seems like a really bad Kong ripoff, is what it seems like to me so far.
Father says the reason he's not irresponsible is because he's apparently done this expedition before. I have no fucking clue, guys.
How have you done? Like, you're not so... Is there nobody... Okay. There are people that are protecting Sentinel Island. It's just got a few people on there that'll throw spears at you. This is a dinosaur island and there's nobody protecting it, and this guy's been doing this expedition multiple times and hasn't been arrested? What is going on here?
Now I know what you're thinking. The introduction of this family is going to add stakes. These characters are going to mix with one another. These 2 groups have now come together to mingle and learn lessons and build character in relation to one another. Absolutely not. It actually serves no purpose whatsoever.
Dude, I could write a better Jurassic World movie. Legit, you could have ripped off Kong. Just ripped it off and been like, okay, well, we have to go to this island. There's these people that are stranded there. Let's go to this island and find them. And then you find a tribe that's been living there for so long that they've figured out the dinosaurs. They figured out how to live with the dinosaurs. That'd be so cool. They've got like weapons attached to the dinosaurs and they're training them. Why can't we have something like that? Are they saving it? It's too good an idea. They can't have too good an idea because then they can't top themselves.
But nonetheless, these characters crash land into an island after having collected 1 bit of dinosaur DNA from our sea dinosaur, and they are now on their expedition to get the other 2. Now, a couple characters have died at this point, but I don't even feel the need to go over that because you don't even know these characters or care about them at this point. But
Dude, all these modern movies do this. They introduce all these garbage characters and then kill them. Kill everybody around the main characters and then don't do anything about the main characters. It's like we're going back to the late 90s sci-fi movies where it's kind of obvious which two characters are gonna end up winning at the end. It's gonna be the male character and the female character who were flirtatious throughout the whole fucking thing.
Nonetheless, we've crash landed, and now our family has gone its separate way from the original crew that was on this expedition for some reason. Now, with a crashed boat, you may be wondering, how are these individuals going to get off the island and return themselves home? Well, Scarlett Johansson's character has apparently accounted for that, and they have 24 hours to collect the 3 dinosaur DNAs, and a helicopter full of fully trained pilots is going to circle over the center or the helipad on this island, and if somebody's there, they'll pick them up. It's kind of hard to explain the middle of this film, not because anything complex or significant happens, but because they're just sort of trekking through the jungle, getting jump scares from dinosaurs. They get the land dinosaur DNA, so that's 2 out of 3, and the groups are remaining separate and going through their own little bits of turmoil with no character development whatsoever. One of the nicer scenes in this film is when they're actually collecting the DNA from the land dinosaur, and Jonathan Bailey, the scientist, gets to really be up close with and touch a dinosaur that he studied for quite some time, and you get a big moment for his character, and it's a pretty scene. But mixed in with a nice scene like that is a bunch of like near misses and inconsequential low stakes moments that happen with the family and this other group, again, that are not mingling with one another whatsoever. The most dumbfounding of these near misses for me is when the family is traveling on this journey towards the helipad and they end up encountering, I believe, a T-Rex. Now,
dude, every time with the T-Rex, it never fails in every single Jurassic movie.
They find themselves in the water on an inflatable boat, and this T-Rex is trying to capture them. Now, 3 of the family members end up in the water traveling through the rapids, and they get stuck behind some rocks, and they are waiting for the little daughter in their family who is stuck under an inflatable raft. Now, unfortunately, the T-Rex is going after this inflatable raft. The T-Rex picks up the raft, gives it a good couple, maybe 3 chomps, okay? This little girl gets away, makes it over to her other family members, and somehow, some way, this T-Rex ends up giving up on his journey to eat this family, and the inflatable raft that's been chomped on multiple times pops up in front of him. Is there even a single hole puncture on this raft? No, they get away on it. But
what the fuck, man? What is this movie? Who thought this was a good idea? They're literally just cashing in on the Jurassic World name. That's all they're doing. They were like, well, where do we go with this series? I know. A 3rd reboot!
as they journey through all of these near misses and deaths of characters that do not matter, they do end up retrieving the DNA of the air dinosaur because Jonathan Bailey is actually able to get that out of one of the eggs. And just to make sure we don't hate Jonathan Bailey's character for puncturing a dinosaur egg, he says, I can do this without harming the dinosaur fetus. So after collecting all 3 dinosaur DNAs, our 2 groups, the family and the mercenaries, meet up once again to escape more dinosaurs at their final destination where the helipad is located. But guess what? The helicopter is missed, except it isn't missed. It is taken by a dinosaur, chomped on, and thrown out where it explodes. And all these pilots who just were nice.
That sounds fucking hilarious. That sounds like it actually would be a funny scene. Like, not the high stakes, not like, oh my god, oh, what are they gonna do now? I'd probably laugh out loud if I saw that happen. Like, helicopters coming, they're like, yeah, we're saved, and then a dinosaur just destroys it, chomps it, and tosses it, and it explodes. That sounds like comedy gold.
Coming to hopefully save Scarlett Johansson lose their lives in a fiery crash. Apparently dinosaurs are really great at destroying helicopters and not inflatable rafts. What? Deus Ex, luckily for all of these characters, they meet at the helipad at the same time, and their destroyed helicopter does not matter because they find a boat and they are able to escape, but not without Mahershala Ali's character having to go toe-to-toe with the biggest dinosaur in the whole film, which we barely see, all in efforts to save a little girl. Remember, because he had a son that died once. And for a moment,
dude, the writing, it's just, it sounds like it came out of ChatGPT. It really, I think they used AI to generate this script, or at least parts of it.
In just a moment, they make you believe that Mahershala Ali's character has been killed by this large dinosaur, but somehow, some way, he actually survives. He gets on the boat, and all of our main characters, every single one of our main characters, rides into the sunset virtually unharmed.
Every fucking time. See, that's what I said. The main characters always get away now. There are no stakes, actually. There are no risks. Main characters get away unscathed. Happy ending. So everybody likes to see. We can make another one with the same characters.
The only majorly harmed character, I guess, is our dad of the family group, who at some point earlier in the film has broken his leg, except he's hopping on it like the damn train conductor in Polar Express. When I tell you this character is exhibiting Grandpa Joe levels of how the hell are you standing right now and dancing around? Because I've got a golden ticket. That's what's happening. Our big pharma executive does end up getting chomped up by a dinosaur, which frees up the DNA for whatever way they want to now use this for, even though they were there for one sole mission. But honestly, at this point, I don't even know if I count this guy as a main character, even though he was meant to be the villain who pushes this story along in some way.
Oh yeah, I forgot there was supposed to be a bad guy.
Anyway, we knew he was gonna die.
What are the stakes?
He died. And that's the
Bro, God. Nothing. This movie was nothing. It was a whole nothing burger. It was made to generate cash off of the IP, and that was it.
film Jurassic World Rebirth. That's how it goes. What ends up happening with the dinosaur DNA that was so important that it was worth $10 million? We don't know. Jonathan Bailey alludes to them wanting to open source the DNA to the public because the public will then create the cardiac medication, I guess, because we're all communist good Samaritans and everything should just be given to the people. I mean, I'm not advocating that Big Pharma get this DNA because ew, but what? So yeah, there's no stakes whatsoever. We went on a meaningless mission that had a meaningless end that lost a bunch of random characters that we did not care about on the way, and all of our main characters survive. But you know what else survives? Their fucking accessories, dude. Mahershala is wading through the water trying to escape a dinosaur. He's setting off flares. We're thinking that the dinosaur got him, and then that dude pops out of the water and into the boat, and he's still got his hat on.
Yeah, you got to keep the character quirks. You got to keep the quirks of the characters intact. Because what else do they have? They don't have anything else.
Dude, Mahershala Ali is bald, okay? There's no bobby pins holding that damn hat on, and the hat survives. Scarlett, where's my damn scarf? Scarlett still got that ass scarf on by the end of the film. She's just rocking it, staying on. And Jonathan Bailey's character, who's got these...
Nothing in this movie makes sense. At least from what I've heard about heard from Amala. I might have to watch this movie, actually. I might have to, but I'm not going to watch it standalone. I'll do a binge watch of every Jurassic movie.
Glasses, which we're now referring to as the slutty little glasses.
And then I'll clean my brain out by watching The Lost World. That old sci-fi show that's actually, like, terrible, but it's really good. I fucking love it. That's how I'm going to cleanse my brain of all the garbage Jurassic World movies and Jurassic Park movies I'm going to have to watch.
He literally falls off a cliff, is bang, 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 hit by trees. And guess what? He pops up at the bottom and the slutty little glasses are still on. So yeah, that's Jurassic.
Bro, what?
World Rebirth. And I think it's so emblematic of everything that's going on in Hollywood and our entertainment and media these days, where we're just repackaging and creating yet another sequel or a prequel of something where it's not necessary because we're not being original. We're not adding to anything.
Yeah, it's just a money farm. And a bunch of idiots eat up the slop every single time.
If anything, we are taking away from, we are regressing. And for a movie called Rebirth, they should have called it Repackaged because nothing was really reborn here.
Kind of sort of an okie afterbirth.
It seems like it was a shitty reboot that's not going to work. I think there might be another movie. There might be another movie after that. And then they'll do another reboot.
Didn't take anything great from the original Jurassic Park or any of its subsequent sequels. It's literally a mutation on Jurassic Park, which funnily enough is how this movie starts with this.
Yeah, they could have actually called it something else. They could have called it like Dinosaur Island because it's not a Jurassic Park movie. It's just another fucking dinosaur movie. but they had to cash in on that IP. Can we not have any other dinosaur movies? Like, there's nothing else going on.
Idea that humans should not be mutating dinosaurs and trying to create something that is unnatural. Jurassic Park is all about messing with something that is natural and original, trying to create mutations, trying to build up entertainment and intrigue, and absolutely failing and being eaten because of it. And that's
where's the T-Rex with the lasers? That's what I want to see. Let's start putting guns on them.
Literally what Hollywood is doing today. Disney's doing it with recreations like Lilo and Stitch and Snow White. The DC Marvel superhero universe has been doing it with Spider-Mans and now a new Superman and Avengers Endgame. And
dude, I'm so sick of it. It's all just repackaged garbage, man. They're just cashing in on IPs.
Now Universal Studios is doing this yet again with the whole Jurassic franchise. We're on movie 7 and they're not improving. So there you go.
I guarantee you we're about to start seeing a King Kong Godzilla reboot again.
So watch it if you want to watch it. I will say, I left the theater having had an all right experience. I didn't feel shitty leaving this film. I actually felt like there were some pretty funny moments. It was a good time. It was a fun enough watch to get by. But could it be much better? And could it maybe lean on some of the morals and themes of its own franchise? Absolutely. So with that,
I wish that the bad movies today would just straight up be bad like they used to be. I want this movie to be worse than Jurassic Park 3, and if it's not worse than that, then it's just mid, and man, it's just gonna be a boring nothing burger, and I really don't want to watch it.
I'm going to leave you guys with a quote from Jurassic Park itself, and maybe our future Hollywood executives, producers, directors should listen to the original movie.
Yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
Wasn't that quick? What about you and Jessica? How are you two doing?
Dude, good video, great video. I love it. What has happened to Hollywood? Hollywood is such, like, garbage, man. It's just AI generated. That's what it feels like. That's what it tastes like. It smells like. It sounds like, you know? That's the way I see it. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell for all the dings.